right.
Well, it's not all Irish. It's not all Italian. There's some Irish, there's some Scottish,
Yes,
and
your last name is
South
Kirkpatrick.
Georgia.
You're
in
of
there
a clan of one of those Scottish people.
But I would be great on a Wendy's sandwich.
Wouldn't that be funny if it turned out we were actually related under the McDonald's clan?
No, that would be really weird. You're my work wife. This isn't Arkansas. So anyway, happy Valentine's Day. Come on, you need Bee Gees. Bee Gees on Valentine's Day.
Who doesn't need that? All right. So look, it's a little overcast out there. It is Valentine's Day. But we cover all the news. One of the things that we wanted to talk about today with our Lafayette Police Chief, Toby Aguillard, who has agreed to graciously come into this room, even though I think he's frightened.
He'll say, I'm going to do this from the phone next time.
Yeah. Who is to talk a little bit about some of the crime stats that we have and take a look at some of the numbers. First off, good morning.
Good morning, Bernadette.
So now you see it behind the curtain,
Listen,
huh?
I can think of no better place to be, except with my bride,
than
to be with you guys on Valentine's Day.
See, there you go.
That's great.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are waking up with their brides and their grooms this morning.
That's right.
We left ours in the night.
I know.
I ran out of there at 3:30 this morning.
And then poor Toby had to come here and be with this.
Yes. So the crime stats, we just now got them a couple days ago. Between 2015 and 2016, homicide down 20%. Rape seems to be flat, which is good, but it's not growing. Robbery down 11%. Assault down 3%. Theft down 6%. Looks like pretty much across the board. We have sort of seen the outreach efforts that have gone into place, especially since you've been here, in being out in the community in different areas, and the coffee with a cop, and just different things like that. What's your outlook on that, or how do you look at these numbers and kind of giving you a starting point for where to improve?
Well, we are encouraged by these numbers, and they reflect a department that's in good shape, a department of men and women who are working hard, and a department that's working with the community. And we're hoping to keep this trend continuing for the future. Working in the community, being part of the community, finding solutions for people's problems, that's what we're dedicated to.
Wow,
I wish that, people could understand what ends up happening nowadays with police officers from their perspective a little bit, because I think they're working twice as hard as they were before, and that was twice as hard as the year before that. It really does seem like that. I hear a lot of positivity coming from a lot of different areas. Would you agree with that? Is that what you found at the department?
Well, it's been a tough time in law enforcement, particularly the last few years, and in particularly in Louisiana for 2016. I've seen some of my good friends in law enforcement leave after multiple decades of service and just decide, it's no longer worth it. But on the other hand, the new approach we're taking a step back. Back in the day, officers walked the beat. They knew the people they were serving. The people knew them. And part of that is our fault. We've stepped away from that. We drive cars now with air conditioners in Louisiana heat, and we keep the windows up, and people don't know us anymore. So right now we're about stepping back, maybe going a little old school, and getting back into the community. And the people have been very receptive. The officers have been very receptive, and I'm hoping that as we continue to work together, we will continue to see this trend of crime going down.
It's harder, too, because nowadays it's harder to get people to talk about things that are happening sometimes in their community.
Yes.
Because with social media, people can be labeled an outcast or worse.
Sure.
Right away, it seems like.
And sometimes that can be dangerous. And we understand that. We absolutely understand that.
Now, last night, y'all were in the Truman neighborhood. What kind of response did you get from people in the neighborhood as y'all were walking around?
We had a fantastic time last night. It was a beautiful night in Lafayette. We've got all of the rank and file from the police department, from the majors, the chiefs, deputy chief, majors, captains, lieutenants, and several other officers joined us, along with our community relations committee. And we're walking the streets of Truman, knocking on doors and just saying hello. And people would come to the door with, a little surprise. And we'd say, look, we're here just to listen to your concerns. We're here to let you know who we are. We want to say hello. We want to help you. We're here to solve problems. How can we get together? And people were so receptive. People were crying. People were inviting us in for supper. It was
Wow.
it was fantastic. It was absolutely
fantastic. Did you expect it to be that
No,
much
I
of
did
an
not.
outpouring of support?
I didn't really know what to expect, but, this is Lafayette. I should have expected it.
Yeah.
This is a special place.
Yeah.
So you were going on 30 years in law enforcement. And
Yes.
just, here for a short time. We kind of actually caught you off guard at our first responders banquet and said, hey, come on up. Say what you think. Hey, give us your entire view of the city and what you think about it. This is a very different place. How is this different law enforcement-wise from other places where you've worked? And how, you talked about it just now with the neighborhoods, but, just the people here, a little bit different than anywhere I know I've ever lived.
Sure. The people here are special. Lafayette has a special thing, this cultural thing that we have here. The Cajun culture, and it embraces everyone. It's not just, it's not just white people. It's not just black people. It's everyone. We're all everyone has that special dialect. We have our culture. We have our festivals, everything going, our food. Mm-hmm. It all sort of blends in to make this place extremely special. And, as a guy coming in as chief into a community like this, it couldn't be. It's just fantastic. Mm-hmm. I don't know how else to describe it.
We hear it all the time. Look, yeah. I'm one. I left, and as soon as I got to where I was counting the times till my path would kind of bring me back here.
To come home, because it's different here. I'm glad that you got the kind of response that you got.
Absolutely. Shouldn't be surprised. Mm-hmm. People want to make things better here.
Yeah, because most people are just good.
Yeah,
most
absolutely.
people are good and happy people.
And that's who we met last night. Good, hardworking people. A lot of them retired. Happy to see us. Happy to invite us in. Happy to talk about some of the issues. And I was delighted to see that many of them. Everything's going great right now, Chief. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming by.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Really great. Well, let's get a quick break in here.
And full disclosure, too, there is the most beautiful king cake that is Valentine themed.
Yes. And you know what? You didn't touch it because it's a cross. It's warm on the bottom still, too.
I didn't touch inside. I did open it and look at it.
You can see the condensation, though, on the box, so it says a lot.
Chief, major points right there. I'm just saying, full disclosure.
Just for you, Bernie.
Woo!
Just for you.
King cake break. All right, we'll be back with Lafayette Police Chief Toby Aguillard. Stay with us. Outside for this Valentine's Day, your high today 77 from the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab. Daniel Phillips.
What was he thinking?
Wonder if he's found a Valentine for today.
I'll be his Valentine.
All right. We'll call him and let him know that he has plans for tonight.
He's probably like, look, lady, I don't need some old lady being my Valentine.
Tonight, windy and colder, low of 50. Tomorrow, high of 61 is another little cold front.
Okay, tomorrow I'm so looking forward to that.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna be nice looking.
We are
feel like an actual winter day tomorrow a little bit.
Oh, winter! I love 61 is winter here.
It pretty much is. It's kind of sad and pathetic. All right, now let's change gears, and we're gonna get serious here. This is a topic you guys hear us talk about an awful lot. And I sit on the board of a program called the Family Violence Intervention Program. It's disturbing what happens in our community, but we're not any different from other communities. There was a shooting yesterday that involved a domestic situation. A woman was shot to death by her partner. He then, later in the evening, was found dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And we have been talking this morning with our Lafayette Police Chief, Toby Aguillard, who joins us once again in studio. I think people don't really understand a lot about domestic violence, Chief, and it can be very hard to understand.
It is difficult to understand, except that it's all about power and control, Bernadette, and it's a great tragedy that we've seen here in Lafayette unfold in the last few hours, and it's a tragedy that strikes too many families. It happens too often in Louisiana. The good news, I suppose, unfortunately, we have this tragedy, the first homicide in Lafayette this year. But we are making progress, and I guess we can look to that to just kind of find some solace. Here in Acadiana, we have the Family Justice Center of Acadiana that assists in making sure this doesn't happen, and they have made significant progress in their work in preventing family violence and also helping the survivors of this get through the system and making sure that the perpetrators are put in jail.
Yeah, because often, people don't understand, well, why doesn't she just leave?
It's not always that simple.
It's
about power and control.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. Often she can't leave. She's being threatened. She's being told, if you leave, I will kill you. That means something and we see it happen too often. he carries out the threat. He does it.
Or he hurts our kids, or their kids.
That's right. So it's
terrible. Not a matter of a woman just being able to pick up and leave.
No, it's not. Oftentimes it's not.
So it is a crime of control.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and I think for some people that's very difficult, to kind of maybe wrap their head around a little bit.
It is. For most of us, I think it is. But you believe it when you see it. And in law enforcement, in the years I've been in law enforcement, I've seen it far too many times.
How different is it now? Because I have heard, people telling me different conversations about, how officers do an incredible job in our area, in Lafayette, in both the Sheriff's Department and the Lafayette City Police Department, of understanding what's going on. But that's come with all of the education that you guys have had over the years, too.
Absolutely. Things have changed, and we are getting better at it. And I guess that's the only hope we have when looking at what happened. That's our hope, is that things are getting better. We just got to keep working. This is a reminder that we have to keep working.
As we move forward here, and we're going to have to wrap up due to time, you went to Truman last night, you and so many people in the department, and we've talked about the communication. How is it that people can communicate with the police department now? Because it's so different, and it can be anonymous if they wish it to be.
Sure.
Can it not?
Sure. Just contact the office. There are many ways. But I encourage people to reach out to our officers. Let them know, what's going on. Look for them in the coffee shops when we're having our coffee with cops, or look for them in your neighborhoods. Part of last night was about getting the rank and file out to demonstrate to the young officers that we're not going to ask you to do anything we're not willing to do ourselves. We're changing the culture at the Lafayette Police Department to better fit the needs of the community, be part of the community, and you're going to see our young officers out there reaching out to the public and being problem solvers. And so take advantage of that. Talk to these folks. Let them know what's going on. Let them know what you know, so that together we can solve the problems we have here.
And what's your advice to parents if their child comes into contact, if they're pulled over for a speeding ticket, if they're asked a question in a store? I mean, what's your advice what should parents be telling their kids?
This is an officer. He represents all of us. He's here to help. Far too often we hear families or parents tell their kids, don't be bad, because I'll get the officer there to come arrest you. That's a terrible thing to say. We don't want to instill that kind of fear in our children. And so, and parents don't mean it that way,
right.
But let's face it, it comes out like that. And who knows what a child may think after their parent says something like that. So I encourage parents to talk to their kids positively about the police.
Just be, and I guess really just do what they ask you to do, huh?
Yeah.
Easy enough and simple enough. All right, Lafayette Police Chief Toby Aguillard, thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, guys.
We plan to make you come in on a regular basis.
Sure,
We're just giving you forewarning now.
Not a problem.
Okay.
We'll see when you call next time.
That's right.
That's what he says now. Thanks for stopping by, Chief. It's 7:31. Bernie has news, weather, and traffic just 1 minute away.